Okay, geometric mean. I know you have never done this before. Have you guys ever done geometric mean?
No.
Do you guys remember it? To tell you the truth, I don't remember learning this in college or in high school until we got these new books. It's the first time I've seen it. So, remember regular mean. If you got two numbers, let's see, 12 and 9, everyone knows how to find the regular mean, right?
Add them up and divide by 2.
Add them up, divide by 2. So 21 divided by 2, the mean is 10.5. Okay? Now a geometric mean, what they do is when you're finding a geometric mean between two numbers, is you write a proportion, and it really doesn't matter where you put these two. I think they tell us to put it in the means. Remember, these are the extremes and these are the means. But it really doesn't matter. As long as you put them kitty corner from each other, I could put them there, or I could put them there. Doesn't matter. And then the other two are the missing spots. So that's why it doesn't matter, is because when you solve this, if you, like yesterday, remember there's more than one x missing, so you can't just go across multiply, divide. You have to go this times this, which is what?
2x.
X plus x is 2x. What's x times x? X squared has to equal this times this. Remember, cross products have to be equal?
Is that 170?
108. Okay? So, you'd get the same thing if you did this way, because here it's x times x and 12 times 9 still. So that's why it doesn't matter where you put these two numbers. So yeah, what do you got to do to solve this? You got to square root it. Square root it. It's not a perfect square. It would round to, it's 10.39. So you can see they're a little bit different. So the regular mean and the geometric mean are not the same, not done the same way. Okay? So that's all you got to do. When you find the geometric mean between two numbers, you just set it up like that. Okay, now these properties. Remember, when you set up a proportion, as long as you follow the same pattern when you're setting it up, it'll be correct. Remember the word problem we did yesterday?
No.
Where they had, on a model, the height was 6 inches, the length was 15 inches. So then they were saying on the actual one, if the length was 120 inches, what's the height? So remember, if you went height over length, you have to go height over length. Okay? So, on some of these, they ask you whether the statement is true. So you got to just check to make sure they use the same pattern. So here, it's if this, so that's given to you, then this. Did they do the same type of stuff to keep it the same?
No.
So what did they do in this first part here? Added 5 to the top, right?
Yeah.
So in order for it to be true, they'd have to follow that same pattern over here. Did they?
Yes.
Yeah. All they did is add 5 to the top here. And remember, whatever you do to one, you got to do to the other. Add 5 to the top there. So that is true. If they would have written it, just mixed it up a little bit, and put it like this, would that have been true? No, because they added 5 to the top, but then here they added 5 to the bottom. So it's just looking to make sure they followed the same pattern. Okay, in this picture right here, they give you the proportion. They tell you what you can put in there to solve it. So this says HJ, which is 6, over JL, which is 12, equals GK, which is X, over KL, which is 10. So this, it tells you exactly how to set the proportion up. And once you do, everyone remember how to solve them, hopefully. Cross multiply, divide. 60 divided by 12 is 5.
Crap.
Now, you don't need to use this. And eventually they won't give you this. So all you gotta do is look at this picture and set your own proportion up, and as long as you follow the same pattern, it's gonna be correct. So myself, when I set up a proportion, I always start with the missing, X. Now, I got a choice. I could go X to 10, or I could go X to 6. Either one. So then when I do the next part, as long as I follow the same pattern, it'll be correct. Here, when I went X to 10, I would have to put what over what? 6 over 12. If you cross them up, you're gonna get it wrong. Since I put the short piece to the longer piece, I gotta put the short piece to the longer piece. So then on this one, since I went X to 6, I would have to go 10 to 12. They're both correct, because if you notice when you solve them, 6 times 10 divided by 12, 6 times 10 divided by 12. Alright? Using the geometric mean. Now this just, when you set this one up, it's going to turn out to be a geometric mean. It's going to look just like those. Guys, without even reading any of this, looking at this picture, if I go the bottom of this building to the height of this building, what would I have to put on the other side? Since I went the bottom to there, I'd have to put X to 210, right? And it turns out to be, here, the distance labeled X is the geometric mean of 105 and 210. All that means is the height of this building is the same as the bottom of this building, the width. So when you solve this, X times X is X squared equals 105 times 210, 22,050. So everyone understand how you set that up? The biggest mistake is people do what you guys first said. You went X times X is 2X. Remember, it's X squared. So everyone know what to do now? To figure out X? Square root it. To get rid of a squared, you square root it. So that would be 148.49, which will round the nearest tenth, 148.5. And it's in meters. Okay, statements. Here's the given. If m over 7 equals n over 11, did they do the same pattern here?
No.
Okay, for this first thing, what did they do compared to here?
They put the N under the N.
They put this over that. Did they follow the same pattern here?
No.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They put this top over that top, and then they followed, they put this bottom over that bottom. If they were to switch these around and put like 11 over 7, then that would have been incorrect, because they would have went m over n, but then they would have reversed the order there, 11 over 7. So that would be, if it was this, that would be false. But since they followed the same pattern, it's true. Okay. In this problem, they tell you how to set it up. If you want to use it, you could just fill the values in here. But you don't need to. You could do it yourself. So if I started with X, I could just put it over 8. Then I'd have to, follow the same pattern. So this is where you gotta use a little common sense. You'd put what over what? Huh?
Oh, that's 12 over 9.
How did you get 12?
21 minus 9.
Right. This length is right here, so you'd have to put this length, which you gotta figure it out. It's not given to you. 21 minus 9 is 12. Or I could have went x to 12 equals 8 to 9. What they told you to do is take st, which is x, over tv. Well, they did the same thing as what I did. So you just cross multiply and divide. 8 times 12 divided by 9 is 10.6 repeating. Okay, finding the geometric mean. So when you're finding the geometric mean of each number, what do you gotta set up? Proportion. You just put x's kitty corner from each other, and then the two numbers kitty corner. So when you solve it, x times x is x squared. 54 times 192 is 10,368. So in order to get x by itself, square root it. 101.8.
Did you say 110.8?
101.8.
110.
Did I?
No, he said.
All right. Proportions. When you shrink down a picture or you expand a picture, what would happen if you just took this picture and you just pulled it straight out? What would happen to the picture?
The length would get longer, but
Yeah, it would distort, right?
yeah.
It'd squish down.
It is.
So when you shrink or expand, you got to do it proportionally so it looks the same. So all they're saying is they're taking this picture, a 10 by 8, and they're shrinking it down for the yearbook to be, it has to be 5.5 inches wide. So they're wondering how tall it should be. So you just got to write a proportion. And again, you could set it up however you like, as long as you follow the same pattern. I could go x to 8, because they're both the heights, and then I'd have to go 5.5 to 10. So as long as you don't crisscross what you're doing, it'll work out fine. So you cross multiply and divide, and you get 4.4. Right? Assignment.